Yeah.
When you are consistently training at too high of intensity, you are not helping your metabolic system. You are teaching it to utilize sugar, period. Over time, that is very damaging to your mitochondria. Hey, what's going on, Ticker Nation? Trying something a little different today. Kate and I just did some recording of a discussion. We just kind of analyzed a workout and how a few different athletes approached it. We looked at graphs and charts and got into some specifics and science and stuff like that. But, in the recording, it cut off our heads while we're talking. So it just doesn't look that great. But we kind of at the end of this, got into a talk, and we discussed a little bit about, the goal of Ticker. We discussed some aerobic adaptions. Kate shares some of her insights with her talk when she was talking with other gym owners about what we do. And, we talk a little bit about why it's important to train in zone 2 when it's prescribed and it's an easy day to do so. We get in a little bit. We talk a little mitochondria and spend a little bit of time discussing about, how you can make Fran cool. And it's just I don't know, there's some valuable stuff in there. This will be the boring part with me just talking at you here, but if you would it's about 6 minutes, spend a little time. I think there's some value that might at least provoke some questions out of you that you might want to reach out and learn more. So please take a minute, have a listen. Because the goal with Ticker training, right, is, yeah, there's some performance things that we do care about and that we try to see improvement on. But, the ultimate goal here is to improve people's lives through fitness, improve their life outside of the gym, their health, and doing this workout in a highly fat adapted state just means you're going to leave the gym with very little overwork, but yet you're going to have made some contractions that are going to build muscle, improve range of motion, give you the ability to jump, right? Because
there was a lot of reps. I mean, you said it yourself. If you didn't think about it, that was 70 box jumps, 70
right.
push-ups. That was a lot.
And all of these things, right? When you're living your life, and I know for me, if I'm not going to the gym, and then all of a sudden I go to jump on something out, going for a hike or doing something, I'm a little more nervous. Now all of a sudden I'm just kind of like, I've gone through those ranges of motion and I didn't do it in an overly stressed state. So now I have confidence to be able to go and do some fun stuff again with my kids that we use as an example here. Wasn't necessarily bad or wrong. Like, he felt good. He did a good job, like, being consistent. He didn't lay on the floor. Like, there was none of that. The only thing that he missed on that workout was he missed a really easy opportunity to make aerobic adaptions in CrossFit. And generally, people only associate making those big adaptions in those zone 2 workouts on a bike, on a rower,
right,
on a ski erg, and running. And he had the opportunity to spend 20 minutes in zone 2 doing push-ups, box jumps, and sit-ups. Way more fun than sitting on an assault bike for 20 minutes at 130 beats.
Well, it's an interesting thing that you bring up in that is that a lot of people say, and I had a call yesterday with a gym owner, and he was like, how do you encourage your people to get in their base zone 2 work? And so this is a man that does metabolic tests as well. And right. I said, I shared the week's worth of training with him. And I was like, I don't have to encourage them to stay late to do extra zone 2 work because they're getting it in their daily activities.
Right.
Now,
it's a funny thing. People always say, well, what's the point of, like, I want to start using the term, we're fitnessing for health.
Right.
And like, what's the point of going slow? Like, I don't get it. It's like, well, I'm just accumulating volume of reps without stressing my system out.
Yeah.
When you are consistently training at too high of intensity, you are not helping your metabolic system. You are teaching it to utilize sugar, period. Over time, that is very damaging to your mitochondria.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
need to have a well-rounded training program that is going to utilize all your energy systems so you can create and making work or doing work easy.
Absolutely.
Like that's what's cool. Like, again, we say this all the time. A 2.5 minute Fran is cool, right? That's a cool thing to do. You know what's even cooler? Doing a 2.5 minute Fran and not laying on the floor, walking around the gym, and then going for a 5-mile run. That's
Exactly.
cool. Like,
No,
that's the difference between like having a really good system that is adapted well to all different levels of stress and strain.
and the way to look at it, I was thinking about, the example of the male athlete that we looked at really, really loves to do competitions.
Yeah.
He's got this competitive streak. And so if I look at it, what we tell him often is we train every day. We compete for fun and we test to make sure our training is working. So how he approached that workout yesterday was essentially
It's just
competition
fun.
adaptations, right?
Yeah.
It was competing for fun. That was it.
Yeah.
But he
Again,
had the opportunity. The problem that comes into is if you never train and you never train those things, you're going to limit your capacity at some point. He just got better at having fun yesterday, which, I mean, can we argue that people don't want to do that every
right.
so often? But that's all he did yesterday. He didn't actually train the system that he needed to be better at competing for fun at a later date when it wasn't just box jumps and push-ups and ab mats.
Right. There was, I mean, yes, he got stronger. Yes, he was able to push through maybe some points where he wasn't. He probably really didn't have to push through. Like that's like if I just kind of turned my brain off and did the workout, my graph would have looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
It would have been the exact same thing if I were just like, I'm just going to do this easy, but I don't care what my heart rate's doing. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Again, nothing wrong with that from time to time. Like we deserve that. But the thing is at Ticker, I program that in.
Yeah.
We give you some of those because we understand like the CrossFitter personality or just the human nature is like every now and then you got to just do what you can do and have some fun.
And that's progressive training, which we should talk about in a whole different podcast one day. We should talk about the progressive nature of training and why we train different energy systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's actually end that there. Let's pick up another day. Stay tuned, check back in, and we will talk about all the energy systems and how we train them.
Sounds good. If you want to learn more about Ticker, what do they do, Kate?
Go to all our socials, Ticker Fitness, Instagram, Facebook, website, the interwebs. Come see me in Ann Arbor.